first thing we're going to be reacting to is Tony Brienne, Love Island's racism, colorism, and harsh beauty standards. I don't watch Love Island. I've just been seeing shit around. I've just been seeing shit about it, like on TikTok and shit like that, and it'd be funny, but I don't watch it. My best friend does with his girl, but I have no reason to watch it. So we're gonna see what this is about, because we can still talk about this shit, colorism and everything. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get some other reaction with that white ass cat.
You gotta do it too, Nala. My baby. Go ahead. You wanna stay with me? Okay. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome to my...
And one of the things I just learned is that cats are protectors in the spiritual realm. So if you have a cat that if you have a cat that like always comes around, like a neighborhood cat, is always at your crib or in front of your house, or a cat you've never known is always in front of your house, in front of your crib, that you just don't feed or anything, just comes around, it either means two things. It either means that you're very spiritually like clean, and you're very spiritually clean, you doing your thing, and your spirit is high, and there's nothing but comfortability and peace around you. So that's why the cat wants to be around you. Or they're like, you need to get your spirit up, as in like you need to work on your spirituality and getting closer to God and stuff like that, because they're there to protect you from whatever you need protection from, which is your demons, childhood trauma, and shit like that. So yeah, one of the things I just learned. Hey, even though I'm allergic to cats, cats be fucking with me, so I guess that's what.
My channel, it's your girl Tony Brienne TV, and in today's video, y'all, we have to discuss Love Island and all of their colorism, racism, and toxic beauty standards. This has been a long time coming, and if you guys have been watching me for a little while now, y'all know I have already done a video on reality TV shows, specifically dating reality TV shows, and the racism that comes with that. But we have to talk about America's hottest summer show right now, and that is Love Island USA, and even Love Island UK, though Love Island USA seems to be on top this summer. But before we get into the depths of this video, because we have a lot to discuss, let's first start off with a little bit of positivity, starting off with the quote of the day. Where's my phone? Nina, you have my phone? Oh, here it is. I thought you had my phone, bookies. Today's quote of the day is, I am willing to leave behind any parts of me that aren't supporting my development. Today's verse of the day is John 1, chapter 2, verse 17, and it reads, the world and its desires pass away, but whoever...
Another thing I had to do yesterday before I got into the crib, I had this spiritual wood called Palo Santos. My sister put me on. It cost $2 at the natural like herbal medicine store. Here it is right here. So I cleaned my house on Wednesday. I grabbed it and I cleansed it spiritually, right? And then I did it again sometime. When did I do it? I know I did it twice, but then I did it a third time, which is last night after we got back, because I didn't want I don't even want nobody's. I didn't want nobody else's demons or toxic energy. Not even like, because they can cling on to you if they touch you, or shit, even from fucking conversation. If people touch you, you share your drinks, soul ties and shit, that's a real thing. You can get their demons and you can get their negative entities and negative low vibrational spirit. So y'all want to be mindful of that shit. But let's get back to the verse today.
Does the will of God lives forever. Tony Brienne TV is now officially a podcast, so if you guys want to watch this episode, or should I say listen to this episode while you're driving, cleaning, I don't know, doing the laundry, whichever, wherever, you can watch me on all audio streaming platforms. Also, my podcast, The Decision Podcast, about how one choice can impact your entire life, is back for season 2. By the time you guys watch this, season 2 has just started. You guys have done an amazing job at season 1. We are already at 8,000 10,000 subscribers on YouTube,
Hell yeah.
16,000 followers on TikTok, and thousands of views and listeners across the world. Thank you so much for the endless support on that. I didn't expect it to blow up so quickly, but I'm so excited for season 2 to come out. And of course, if you guys want to be a guest on the podcast, I'll be linking the form down below. Please know you need to be either in the Atlanta area or willing to travel on your own dime. This is a new podcast. We ain't at that level yet, okay? So if you're willing to travel to share your story and to inspire others, go ahead and check out that Google form sheet. Thank you for all of the many people that submitted one. Like, life is amazing, and I just love that y'all love me, and I love y'all.
Should I do it to go see the love of my life? Nah, I ain't
now,
doing it.
without further ado, you guys, let's get
Possibly, I
straight
don't
into
know.
today's video. Taking you in this moment. Another season and another year of Love Island trying to be diverse, but doing a very bad job at it. Well, at least for the past 2 seasons, Love Island USA has done a better job. But Love Island as a franchise, and their biggest franchise being the UK, and not just the UK, but all of their other franchises outside of the USA, and the USA season has recently gotten more diverse within the last year. But they are continuing to push the same tired narrative when it comes to the beauty standard that men are allegedly seeking to date. And honestly, I'm fed up with it, and I think we really need to talk about it, because even the Love Island USA, there are some things that we see from their fan base that shows those same tired, racist, stereotypical, misogynistic, and downright rude comments, edits, and behaviors allowed on Love Island. So from the way Black women primarily are treated, or women of color are treated, depending on the color of their skin, to the very harsh beauty standards that are displayed on the show that a lot of young women are feeling like they're forced to keep up with, which ends up making them look rather old or just super plastic. We have a lot to unpack in today's episode. But before we get into that, I want to thank...
Look, this is what I want to say about Love Island. It's the same concept as Pop the Balloon, but it's mainstream, right? It's a whole lot of low vibrational human beings who are just going on there for clout. They're just going on that show for clout. My best friend told me, he was like, you should go on there. Man, if I go on there, I'd be just as low vibrational. I wouldn't be able to go on there. Like, people would hate me because I'm not acting out. Now, the old me, if I went on there, oh yeah, it'd be a whole lot of fun. But the new me, like, I'm all about me and myself and my peace. Whoever I'm with, she can't be on that all about social media and shit like that, because I'm not all about social media. She can't be all not wanting to get closer to her higher self and stuff like that. Like, we wouldn't be compatible. But yeah, these people are just going on there just for clout. They already got a little bit of clout. That's how they got on there. They got clout from, whatever they do on social media, or they just models and they look good. They're not really trying to find love, bro. They're really not. They're just trying to get a bag and get a bigger bag. Because a lot of these people from Love Island, they fucking blow up. Like, they become like models and shit. They get hella sponsorships and brand deals and shit like that. Like, this is inauthentic. Like I said, it's exactly like Pop the Balloon.
Honey Love for sponsoring this video. Honey Love has some of the best shapewear in the industry, and I'm literally not lying. I recently wore their shapewear when I was wearing a dress out and about, and when I tell you it snatched me all the way up, it snatched me all the way up. No, I'm not a plus size woman, but we all know as you become a woman, there are little curves and crevices that you don't want to be seen in the clothes that you wear. And Honey Love shapewear literally holds you together.
Can't even lie, I saw no difference. I saw no difference whatsoever.
Nicely.
That's all I'm gonna say. I saw
without
no
literally
difference.
squeezing your guts in, so you still look like you. The shapewear doesn't fold down. Once again, it doesn't suffocate me. It doesn't hurt me, and it actually works. So if you have a date, an event, or even just want to look snatched in your favorite jeans, I highly recommend checking out Honey Love. Save 20% off your order at Honey Love by going on honeylove.com/TonyTV. I can't wait to see you guys all looking so gorgeous in your shapewear and undergarments. So if you guys want to know how racist Love Island truly has been and is since the beginning of time, the first ever black female lead on Love Island UK was in 2018. Now, the show first aired in 2005, but it was originally called Celebrity Love Island. However, they shifted the concept in 2015 with having just ordinary people on the show, and that began in 2015. However, it took them 4 seasons with their new concept of just having ordinary people on the show to get their first ever black woman. And that first ever black woman was Samira Mighty. But a lot of people noticed, and even herself, that a lot of the men were not interested in dating black women. And
get a nigga like me on the show, I'll be guarding her with my entire life. My goddamn soul, nigga. I swear to God. I'll be, bruh. No one will be able to touch her. I'd be so selfish, they would hate me. Nykel, you always go for it. Nigga, leave me alone. Leave me and my beautiful dark queen, my black beautiful Nubian queen alone.
During her season in 2018, let me remind you again, she was the only woman of color in the entire cast, which is...
And not even the brother. You can tell us the brother by his features, even though he's light skinned. The brother didn't even want him. She's beautiful. She is very beautiful.
Appalling. And what disturbs people the most is that for her season in particular, there was over 85,000 applicants, okay? So it's almost unimaginable that she was the only black woman that applied for the show. And let me just fix that, I guess, because I know y'all like to tussle. Not just the only black woman, but the only entertaining black woman out of 85,000 people. But they were able to find a sleuth of white women.
Yeah.
Racist or not. And given this, a lot of people were heavily critiquing the show and their lack of diversity. And when Samira was asked about this, she said this in quote, "I didn't know that I'd be the only woman of color, but I did have an inkling. You have 4 or 5 girls to start. They're not going to have someone who looks like me at the start. Everyone's going to be different, and we are. I know that I'd probably be the only one, but it didn't bother me. I was like, yeah, come on then, good." Now, it seems that Samira tried to downplay the reality of the situation, and unfortunately, in the UK, racism is running rampant. And maybe not even just racism,
Racism runs rampant everywhere. Like, I want y'all to understand this, man. Racism is going nowhere. That's facts. And realize that. But also, racism is a 3D, a third dimensional concept, bro. Like, we're all spirits. We're all, well, most of us are spirits. Some of us are the chosen ones. Some of the other people want to stay, down. But racism, it's the Matrix made that shit up. And yeah, but essentially racism is always going to be there. So I don't know why y'all look at these shows, these white shows who are ran by white producers and white people who are putting their money in, and and expect them to put black people in there just because, oh yeah, we came so far, which we have. So what? Still gonna have that mindset. That's why we need to have create our own dating show. That's why we have Pop the Balloon.
Would say mainly colorism, because you do see a lot of the girls that have lighter skin or look more racially ambiguous with the curly hair, looser wave textures, and all of these things. They don't really struggle finding a man in the UK. But if you're my color or darker, you probably would have a little bit of a struggle. Or if you had less Eurocentric beauty features. When I went to the UK back in 2022, which was like, 4 years after Samira went on the show, when I tell you guys, I did not see one singular black man with a black woman. I was appalled, okay? I'm all for love is love, and oh my god, preference is preference, but it gets to a point, and that point being, you hate yourself. I was shocked, and quite frankly, I try not to automatically assume when I see a black man with a woman that is not black that he hates himself and hates black women, but black men continue to prove that that is the case in a lot of instances where they speak so downward on black women. And
now, this is what I'm gonna say to this because I want to be very careful with how I speak about this. I've never been to the UK, and I can't speak on the black men who date in UK. They date all white women. I don't really hear about a lot of black women going to the UK. Honestly, if we like, I'm sure there's a study or some shit like that to where like it will say how many African American women are in the UK, but I highly doubt there's a lot of African American women who go to the UK. If you were to ask any type of African American woman, where would you want to go? What are the top 5 places you want to go outside of the US? The UK would not be in the 5. I don't even think it'd be in top 10. Now for her, like she said, it was back in 2018 or something like that when she went. It was probably the same thing. You really don't think of UK as like the touristy spot because if people want to go on vacation, people's gonna go on vacation to a place where like there's a beach or where the mountains are or just a resort or on a cruise or something like that. Nobody's gonna go to fucking the UK. What the fuck is in UK? They have this. They have bland ass food. They have like they want some fish and crumpets, or tea and crumpets, and fucking English beans and bread for breakfast. Bland. Nobody wants to go there for that bland ass food, and they fucking throwing acid on people and smugging people and stabbing people. So, yeah, the UK, like I said, I can't go in on the men because I don't know how many black women who actually live there or go travel there. And even if they did travel there, what makes you think that a black woman would want to live in the UK? If anything, the British man would move, or they'd move to a location outside the UK, something like that. In my opinion, in my thought process. And with her saying that, her seeing all the black men, because remember, they're UK black, they're black men, but they're UK black men, but saying every single one that she's seen had a black, every single black man she saw had a white woman. Well, she didn't see all the black men that are in the UK because UK is a big place. It's a huge fucking place. So she didn't see all of them. But in her mind, it's like, why is it every time I see a black man in the UK, they're never with another black woman? So she's generalizing that all the black men in the UK are dating the white women and not black women. But why don't you say vice versa of did you see any black women there? Like, I'm talking about, I don't even care if they were dating or anything. Did you see any black women there? Like, you should say that as well. And if you did, who were they dating? Or were they single? In which, if there were black women there that you saw, and they were by themselves or with their friends, or just by themselves, you never know if they're single or if they're not. But if you're talking by themselves or not with a man, not with a black man, then I could be like, okay, then I wouldn't say they hate themselves, but maybe they have their own preference. Yeah, that's one of the things where like it's that issue like with black men and another race is sticky just because I would never downplay or I'd never hate on a man for their preferences. People have their own preferences. The only way I would go off on a dude, not go off, but like check a dude, is if he's talking shit about his own race and only doing the stereotypes. Like if a man were to say, if a black man were to say, oh yeah, I don't date black women because they're not submissive, they're never feminine, they just saying just bullshit, they're not feminine, they like to be in charge, I can never be in charge, da 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 da, abusive, everybody abusive, everything. I would check them right there. I'd say, look, the only reason they're like that is because of you. You allowed that. You weren't the man. You were a little bitch. Every single black woman I've been with, they've always been submissive. Every single female I've been with, they've been submissive. So you just weren't that guy. You're just not that guy. Maybe you need to figure out what's going on with yourself before you start pointing the fingers at everybody else. And here's the thing, even if you have one bad apple of females, you should know what female you can be with and what female is not right for you. So that goes into your choice of female that you choose.